a year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're very popular.
That's really what they are on the front. So I was gonna take it after you flight, I was like, I need $50. So I was like, let me take a flight.
Yeah. Keep trying to get us a raise.
Or should be successful one of these days.
Someone finally set that clock back to the actual time.
That's closer.
I got 45.
I mean, if you look at the time on the laptop, it was off a little bit. Sniffle, sniffle.
There you go.
On the one of those. I like to do this all the time.
Are we recording? I'd like to call the Board of Zoning Appeals regular meeting for Monday, October 1st, 2018 to order at 5 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lamont.
Here.
Mr. Schlechter.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Hayes.
Here.
Mr. Levine.
Here. Okay, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from September 17th, 2018? Second. Any questions? You okay? Any questions? Will you just check that, that time,
Okay, yeah.
that 5:58 time? That's a question I had. Any other questions on the minutes?
No other question.
Motion to approve? Second. I make the motion. You motion. Who seconds? I'll second. Thank you.
Alan first and Greg second.
Yeah. there you go.
Okay. Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Lamont.
Yes. Thank you. We do not have any old business to attend to at this moment, so I'll move into new business. Before we begin, anyone that's going to speak today, either for, against, or neutrally any one of these items, please stand. Stand. Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. So we have a variance request for a front side yard setback from 35 feet required to 23 feet provided for the property located at 4305 Meriwether Road, parcel number 78-61554, Sylvania Township zoning regulations, section 603. Carmen, could we have the staff report, please?
Yes. The subject parcel is a corner lot in the Sylvania Estates subdivision, which is occupied by a single-family dwelling facing Meriwether Road. As with all corner lots, the parcel has more than one frontage. And in this case, the applicant is requesting a variance reducing the setback on the side of the home facing Homerdale for construction of an additional attached garage. The area was platted in 1946. The home was built in 1954, which was 2 years prior to the adoption of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution. The current building setback is 27 feet. The required setback is 35 feet with the institution of the resolution. The garage addition would sit 23 feet back from the property line, and the said property line is located 20 feet from Homerdale. This gives a 43-foot setback from Homerdale. The garage would extend only 4 feet further than the existing side of the building. The addition can't be reconfigured further into the backyard due to the location of the home's back door. The way that the house is situated on the lot, which is a large lot, creates somewhat of a practical difficulty on the property. Section 603 of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution dictates that the setbacks for corner lots shall have the required front setback on both street frontages. And for this property, that requirement is 35 feet from Merriweather and 35 feet from Homerdale. The applicant states there are other garages constructed in the area which do not meet the 35-foot setback on Homerdale, and I did look at that, and it's true. And that would be also because most of these homes were constructed prior to the zoning resolution being implemented. The addition to the garage would allow larger vehicles currently parked outside and on the street to be off-street and housed from view. The configuration of the house does not allow for the garage to be located elsewhere. Due to the building setbacks at the time the house was constructed, the requested variance of a 12-foot reduction from the zoning resolution 35-foot setback is not as severe as it would present. Staff recommends approval of the requested 12-foot variance from the minimum setback of 35 feet. The existing 27-foot setback of the building constructed prior to the adoption of the zoning resolution results in a 4-foot difference. Granting reduction of the setback isn't inconsistent with other properties in the subdivision or the surrounding subdivision and does not result in a use outside the terms of the resolution. The proposed structure is unobtrusive to the neighboring properties, and we would further recommend that the variance be conditioned on the garage addition being constructed the same height and style of the existing home, and the applicant working with the Lucas County Access Management for any additional permits if necessary. I also checked with Mr. Burrell, our township attorney, and had a quick meeting with him on this, and he agreed that it does meet a practical difficulty standard with the configuration of the home and the size of the lot, and the fact that it doesn't present any harm to any neighboring properties and would meet all other setbacks.
Okay, thank you for that report. You have questions on that report?
I have not.
Okay. Is the applicant here? Okay, if you would move to the podium, write your name on that sheet and that information, and then state your name for the record.
Dave Wagenfeld.
Welcome, Dave. You got that?
It's on right now.
It's on right now. I tried to make it as dark as I could. I made it as dark as I could. I copied it I don't know how many times on the...
That's good. That's fine.
So I will try and freeze that.
Okay, Dave, tell us about what you're planning.
Well, currently, the garage that is existing is 20 by 20, and anybody that has a normal size today vehicles realize you cannot put them in that size garage. I'm a subcontractor, so I do have 2 pickup trucks. I have a nicer truck and I have an older work truck that I would like to get out of my driveway. I'm sure my neighbors would appreciate that. So I want to build a 24-foot deep garage. That's why I need that extra 4 feet, so I can fit my trucks in there, 26 wide. I'm going to build it, reside that end of the house, make it look and try, and we bought the home in December. We are improving it. It was by far the worst street on the house, or worst house on the street, and we want to change that. So, and then she had mentioned about the access. I know if I want to get access off of Homerdale, I need to go to Lucas County, but I didn't want to take that step to get that approval if I can't build a garage, obviously. So that is the long-term plan, is to put a driveway off of Homerdale, and the garage will sit back 43 feet from the street. So it's it's not going to be, when we had original discussions, and I was told as long as you're 35 feet from the street, that was where the misconception, I didn't even know there was a 20-foot kind of void on the side of my property that's not technically mine when we purchased the home. I mean, ignorance is no excuse, but you see a house, you see property you assume you own from the street, over to the neighboring fence line, and I did not account for that 20-foot in there. And the neighbor immediately across Homerdale is 30 feet from the street, not, and I'm gonna be further away than him.
Right.
He parks a big motorhome in it, and it literally comes right to the street at times.
So I'm trying to figure out how this is laid out on the site plan. I see proposed garage, which is right here, right?
Correct.
So the existing garage is right here?
In front of it.
But they're gonna tear that down.
No. The existing garage is going to stay, so the front of the home will not look any different. It will just be...
You're gonna be able to drive through that.
No, I'll have a side load garage door off of Homerdale.
Gotcha, Tom, okay.
So actually, the home will have two separate two-door garages. Two-car garage. But like I said, the
Yeah, I
existing
see that.
garage, I cannot fit my vehicles in.
I thought that was a void spot, but it just didn't turn out real good. Okay, now I
Yeah.
see.
So it looks like the back wall of the garage here is going to be in line with the side of the current? Is that how it's set up?
There's a breezeway
Right.
in between that has been there. It will go straight out off of the wall, the existing wall of the garage. So there'll be a common wall between the two garages, and it'll just be, inside I'll have put an interior door to go from one garage to the other.
I won't have to see that tree.
Our garage is already here. Anybody need this thing more? Any other questions of the applicant? Is there anyone else here who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter?
Do you need to take any of those trees down?
I already took them down. I took 4 large oak trees down
They're huge.
for this process. And the pine tree, if you're looking at the color picture,
That's what I was looking at.
pine that came down too.
And is that where the driveway would come in off Homerdale, is right around where that tree was?
Correct.
So maybe just behind it?
Yeah, behind that pine tree, there was 2 large oak trees and then a couple other smaller sassafras trees that came down.
Okay.
I'm good.
Thank you, Dave. So there's no one else who'd like to speak on this matter? Okay. So if we're going to propose a motion, there were 2 recommendations. One pertained to same height, style of existing home, and the other was access management with Lucas County. Someone like to propose a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll propose a motion to approve the variance request for front side yard setback from 35 feet required to 23, provided for the property located at 4305 Meriwether Road, parcel number 78-61554, according to Sylvania Township zoning resolution section 603, with the proposed conditions listed here in the staff's recommendation. The garage be constructed at the same height and style of the existing home, and that the applicant work with Lucas County Access Management for any additional permits that might be required.
Okay.
Second?
A motion and a second.
Second.
I motioned it, Don seconded.
Second, okay, I got it. All right, Mr. Lamont,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes. Okay, that motion is approved, so you'll get notice from the office here within 30 days. But again, your next step would be to get in touch with the county.
Thank you.
Access, okay, thank you. All right, the next, you can, if you'd like to leave or stay, it's up to you. Don't feel like you're, all right. I know it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I guess that's fun here.
Stay past 5:30, we do cater and dinner.
Drinks too?
Those are in the back. So, we have two other items of business which are related. So I'll read those together. It's a variance request for a rear yard privacy fence from the maximum of 6 feet permitted to 8 feet requested for the property located at 8817 Jimson Court, parcel number 7974770. And a variance request for a rear yard privacy fence from the maximum of 6 feet permitted to 8 feet requested for the property located at 8809 Jimson Court, parcel number 7974771. Carly, can I have a staff report?
Yes, we do. These are two separate applicants before the board for two neighboring properties, both of which abut the same backyard property of 8752 Slate Ridge. Both applicants are requesting a 2-foot variance to construct an 8-foot-high privacy fence in their respective backyards, and since the requests were identical for the properties, I combined the analysis. Section 2211A, residential fencing of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution dictates that the height of a solid privacy fence for a rear yard is a maximum of 6 feet. The backyards of both 8817 and 8809 Jimson Court have been affected by the installation of a neighbor's pool and pool deck, which is approximately 4 feet above the grading in the Jimson Court backyards. Due to the increased grading and height differential, which was necessary for the construction of the pool on Slate Ridge, neither of these conditions were created by either applicant, and a 6-foot fence will not provide the privacy protection for which it is intended. Both applicants have remediated by attempting to install trees to remediate the sight lines, but trees take time, so a privacy fence is needed. The applicants have both received permission from the HOA of their subdivision for installation of the higher fence upon the approval of the township. And staff recommends approval of both applicants' requested variances from the maximum height requirement of 6 feet for a privacy fence to a maximum of 8 feet for the properties located at 8817 and 8809 Jimson Court for the following reasons. These conditions were not brought about by any action on the part of the applicants. Approval of these variances should not present a negative impact on the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility, safety of traveling public. Approval of these variances does not alter the intent of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution.
Thank you, Carly. Questions? The staff report? Did we receive verification that the homeowners association approved fence?
No, they had put that in their variance application.
Okay.
Also, there's a separate homeowners association for Slate Ridge. So there's...
But this, right,
There is. I'm the president of that association too. I'm also the property owner of 8752 Slate Ridge Court.
Okay. It's a good way to get it approved. It's a good way to get it approved, be the president.
That's it's the different...
subdivisions.
Right.
So we are not opposing the variance. 8752, we think it should be granted.
Yeah, we'll let you speak on that in a minute, so we can actually get your voice on the record.
There's two neighborhoods backing up here is what they're saying.
Yes.
Does the property owner have a HOA?
Yes,
And what was their comment?
they can look at it, they said it'll be fine. I have an email.
You have an email.
All right, we're gonna have to wait till they're up here to ask.
Yeah, okay, I get it,
questions.
okay.
These are questions of Carleen,
You're correct. You're correct.
so there's no questions more for Carleen.
No.
All right, let's have the applicant. Let's have the first one, yes. Stuckey? Why don't Stuckey go first?
Yeah.
And if the second applicant is happy with the first testimony, you don't have to go up. Okay, state your name for the record.
Michelle Stuckey.
Tell us the program here.
Well, I mean, she pretty much summed it up. We just would like the variance from the 6-foot to the 8-foot fence, privacy fence for the yard, to help negate the grading behind us, so that we just have more privacy.
So your homeowners association allows privacy fences?
They do not,
They do not.
but we went to them and gave them our plan. We said, this is what we want to do. And they said, we're fine with it as long as the township approves it. And I think Todd has the email.
And this is your split rail currently?
That's our fence, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. And did you put the pool in? Or-
No, it's not our pool, it's their pool.
Okay,
Al?
Okay, let's
that's helpful.
back up here a minute. The picture that I'm looking at right here is not your pool,
That's their pool. That's just from my backyard.
from your backyard. Your HOA has rules and regulations, correct?
Yes.
Is there anything in there that says anything about fencing? I'm sure there is, but is there?
Yeah, I'm not exactly, I think that the only fence that is allowed on our HOA regs is the split rail like how we have.
And what's that now? Is that 4 feet, 4.5?
I don't know.
3.5 to 4
4.
is what you're looking at there.
But we started with them.
So do you have documentation?
You do not have it on
from
us,
them?
but we can get that.
We can get it, but we don't have it with us tonight.
We can always make it a condition.
Huh?
We can make it.
We can always make it a condition.
Yeah. Fences can be.
So,
He came over.
Yeah, he came
The
over.
president came over and looked in our yard and Simpson's yard.
This is,
So, I'm sorry, I'm just confused a little bit, mostly because I'm looking at the map. So what address are you on?
We're at 8809.
Jimson
Okay.
Court.
And you do not have a pool?
We do.
have a pool.
Oh, okay. What the heck?
yeah.
All right.
The way that these photos are taken, make it look reverse.
No, so that photo that you're looking at right there, we're standing next to our fence in our backyard, facing
Right.
the house behind us.
Okay.
That's right here.
So that's just to give you a perspective of the way it sits.
Sure.
But there are.
And so I guess one of the questions that threw me off too was, I don't know if, Jason, you're thinking this, but when he was saying that their association approved the fence, is it gonna be your fence on your property?
No.
Or is it gonna be,
It'll be our
It'll be our fence that we'll pay for.
Okay.
We just abut up to their yard, and they are in a different subdivision, which can have a fence, and ours cannot.
That make sense?
yeah, clear as mud?
No.
Well, you got,
Yeah.
All right,
I
that's,
can't believe both HOAs don't have that in there. The rules and regulations.
well, their HOA prohibits privacy fences.
Well, he's got,
He's out you're in the other side.
He's the one in behind it.
He's behind us.
you the guy with the pool?
Yes.
Now we got the pool, our next door neighbor has a
Yeah.
privacy fence.
Yes, they're allowed in their sub.
They have a privacy fence about 8 foot tall, I never measured it. It's
All right, hold on. We can't get to that yet, because this is, what you're saying is not being picked up here, okay? So when you say it, we all hear it, but it's not on record.
So our HOA does allow the split rail that you see there.
Right.
We went to them and said, hey, what do you think about a privacy fence? And then he wanted to come over and look at it in person, which he did. Came over, looked at it in person, we wrote up a letter. I believe it went to the board and passed. So we took that step before we came here. So we just don't have that document on us. We can get it as a condition to this.
And they said that one of the reasons too was that the installation of the fence would not affect any neighboring properties in our HOA. Because we butt up, our property butts up only to Cobblestones, which is different. We're in Woodstream. So that was another reason why they said that they were okay with it, is because it didn't impact anyone else in our HOA.
Okay.
Thought you looked familiar.
Oh,
I live in Cobblestone, so.
Okay.
So the privacy fence would only be the back
correct.
of the yard, and then you go back to the, do you have fencing on the side?
Yeah, we have the split rail all around our property.
Okay.
The 8-foot fence would only go from where so the way our property is, we're split between their house and then the one to the north. So the one to the north already has a 6-foot privacy fence that goes over half of the back of our yard. We just want to start the 8-foot from there, and it would just be that back half, and then we leave everything else the same.
So you're saying from here to here?
Well, that's part of that is Todd's property too.
So I'm saying that right there where your fence is.
This is where yours would start?
Yep.
So the top half of that is a neighboring property that already has a privacy
Okay,
fence.
so this abuts an existing privacy fence?
Correct.
That's
But on the other,
It's like half of our property.
but it's on the other side of the property line? Because it's the other HOA, not...
Correct, you got it, that's right. But that lines the entire back of our property already.
Okay, yeah. Does that make sense?
But they have a 6-foot privacy, this would be 8.
Yeah,
More than it would
the
be.
variance is for the 8.
Is 6 foot.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would the other applicant like to speak? Or, well, you might as well, you're going this way.
Yeah.
Just sign your name and then state it for the record, please. Thank you.
Todd Simpson.
Can you bring this site plan back up, or the overhead view?
So that picture's from my backyard.
Okay. I'd just like you to show us
Sure.
where yours,
My laser
where you'd stop the privacy.
Okay, so my property's one with the pool right there. Yep. So I would go from there to about halfway across that line
Okay?
with an 8-foot fence.
And then from, when your
From
8
there.
foot is finished, does it drop down to the split rail?
Then I'll go back to split rail from there.
Are you gonna leave the existing split rail there?
No, I plan on removing, I will remove it.
Okay.
Point that out again to me. Where's his property?
This is his house.
Okay.
So they're gonna go from here to here, is that right?
That's the stuff.
And then starting here to probably about right here.
Yes. Because they placed a,
Rail down the sides.
And then the rest of it would be split rail. And that's to give you privacy from the homes behind you.
correct. If you notice there between the house behind me, they put a pool in that area, as you see. Very close to our property line, but still within regulations. But as you see, the height of it is about 3.5 to 4 foot above my property line, or my property
Actually,
grade.
because of their, it's an above-ground pool.
No, it's in the ground.
They just built it up and put
It had to be built up because of the way their property was.
Okay.
So there's basically a rock wall now behind me, right from my fence line. That's now lined with rocks. You see their pool deck.
I'm assuming their property line, if it's like mine, slopes down from the house to
Yeah,
the back.
they all
Like
slope-
some puddles, so they had to build it up.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a natural drainage there between the properties. And so it's fairly close, within the rules. The water line is so many feet away from the fence. But just the way it sits, it's up high. A 6-foot fence would basically give us about this much coverage from my deck.
Gotcha.
That makes sense?
Now, yeah.
other questions of Todd?
Yeah, I just have one more, sorry. The existing fence that's privacy, that's 6 feet, will the 8 feet be the same style? Because Al and I asked this question a lot.
The 6-foot fence is a cobblestone piece of property, if you put a picture up, it's a big piece of property in the corner. They've got a 6-foot white fence all around their whole property, which I guess years ago they put it in, and they had to match the house or something. So, we haven't picked out fences, we want to get it approved first. But we'll have to put the same fence in.
Because I was gonna say, I guess, one of the things I would ask then maybe is match the, even though it would be higher, but the same style fence and same.
Yeah, but the white, it wouldn't match my house or their home. We'd probably do like a tan color or a brown type color.
We would do the same fence, so it's uniform.
Yeah, so-
But the white vinyl does not match, neither one of our houses is white.
Well, not a brown,
So we would
tan
want
type
something
color.
that would match the house so it looks nicer.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You got a white fence right now, it's 6 foot high.
We do not have any-
That's not our
That's not our fence. That's a separate property that doesn't,
It's in the cobblestone, it's the third neighborhood that, once they all kind of come together, it's a white privacy fence.
Okay.
So I'm asking if they were gonna use at least the same style, maybe not necessarily the same color, but the same
Yeah.
style of fence.
It would be same, I mean, it would look nice, we want it to look nice.
Sure.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be white.
Right.
But the same style.
correct, yeah, and it's
Okay.
simple. It's just a simple vinyl fence that's there now.
Okay.
So you will be okay with removing the existing split rail and replacing it with a fence that's in uniform with the surrounding fence now?
Correct.
Correct.
What's the name of your homeowners association?
Woodstream West.
I'm sorry?
Woodstream West. Yeah, whatever. I'll be glad to get you the president's info and whatever I need to do.
Okay, thanks.
Ready?
Okay, thank you. It's showtime.
Oh, you funny guy. He's gonna tell you, he lives in 4 neighborhoods down the way. Jesus Christ. Let's see. At least that right here.
Kent Reason, owner, my wife and I own 8752 Slate Ridge Court. The privacy fence they're talking about would be in back of our property. We won't have any issues with the privacy fence being placed in back of our property. It will deal with some, maybe the noise issues that we've been dealing with for the last month or two. So we've tried to put up some, our own type of trees to try to make the view of our pool less obvious, and we hopefully in a couple of years those will grow. But if they want to put up a privacy fence, it seems like a great idea. And in regards to Slate Ridge Court, there is a fence there, and it's my understanding that when that went in, there was some questions about how nice a fence it was, but it is there, and we can't see in our neighbor's backyard. I don't have any problems with that. So, any questions you have?
I have one when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Okay. This picture here, that's your property.
It is, absolutely, yes.
Okay, now,
That's
not your guys' property. This is his property.
That's right.
Okay.
And I think what they're talking about, you see, we also have a shed that we put in there, so that also blocks some view, which we have to get approved through cobblestones. So I think their fence, I assume, will probably...
You can talk to them about that.
I assume the fence they're talking about, the privacy fence will go up to past the pool, I assume? The pool house? Okay.
Okay.
But yes, that's a picture of our house.
So your subdivision your homeowners association has nothing to do with their parcel? They have.
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct.
They have their own home, okay.
Cobblestones has its own...
Three people here involved, okay, now I got it.
Cobblestones has its own procedures Charlie from our subdivision is very much up to speed on those kind of things. And you have to go through architectural approval to do poles, sheds. It has to all be approved by Cobblestones. So, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cleared it up for me.
So you propose a motion?
Yes. I'll make a motion for the variance request for a rear yard privacy fence from the maximum of 6 foot permitted to 8 foot requested for the properties located at 8809 and 8817 Jimson Court, parcel numbers 79-74770 and 79-74771, with the conditions of removing the existing split rail fence, making the new 8-foot fence uniform with the existing, with the surrounding fence, and also with the condition of the Woodstream West Homeowners Association's approval.
Okay, we have a motion?
I'll second.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Lamont?
Yes.
Mr. Lester?
Yes.
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Mr. Levine?
Yes. Okay, so that's approved. 8-foot fence. It'll butt up to the existing fence. It'll be the same basic style. You can choose the color. And if you would forward approval from the HOA to Carleen, we'd appreciate that. And then she'll get official notice out. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Any other business? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Out. Okay, Mr. Lamont?
Yes.
Mr. Lester?
Yes?
Mr. Rowe?
Yes.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Levine?
Yes. And adjourn at 5:34.
Good, how are you? Good, better now.
We, that come together.
Thank you.
That's what I wanted to make sure.
Yes. What I live for.